If your eating is causing you to get diabetes, what the hell are you doing? This is what I mean by decisions and people that complain in order because they want to be disappointed because then they don't have to do anything. Now, I've openly said to people like that, I'm not listening to you. I'm going to do you a favor and never listen to you again. Now, as soon as you make a decision, come and tell me, but don't tell me that you're thinking of making a decision. What the heck does that mean? I'm thinking of making a decision. And all they want to do is talk it out because it makes them feel as if they've made the decision. And they haven't. So any of you, don't postpone your life, in other words. Don't do it. And don't lie to yourself that you'll get around to doing something. If you're a procrastinator, if you postpone things, knock it off. You're running out of time. And we are running out of time. Okay. Okay. There's okay. All right. Don't postpone your life.
Caroline, can you tie up the vampire with the hemorrhaging?
Yeah? I can put the two together.
Yeah.
I'm going to introduce some. Do you know what a codependent relationship is?
Yes.
Because I see it around you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I love to clear that up.
Okay. So, the codependent relationships are very vampiric. Oh, wait, what the heck's that? They're relationships that don't go anywhere. You just keep doing the same thing, like being married to an alcoholic. Oh, I'll never drink again, and then tomorrow comes. These are vampiric relationships, and you hemorrhage from them. Because anytime you lie to yourself, I cannot emphasize this enough. You have angelic guidance all the time. We don't always want to hear our guidance. Let me be very clear here. Because our guidance will tell us leave this situation. Leave. And you don't want to hear it. Because you've told yourself a lie that maybe you can change somebody. You can't ever change anybody. Can anyone change you? I just want to ask you, can anyone change you?
Yes.
Okay.
Me.
Well, I know I don't change, I inspire. There's a difference.
Can we
There's
change
a
ourselves?
difference. And so, it's like I want to send you home into a quiet place of prayer, where the first thing you really talk to yourself about is, do I want to hear my soul? Do I actually want to open that kind of guidance? Because it's not, once you open higher passages of guidance, you really can't turn them off very easily. You can't. You know what I'm lecturing? I'll be there in a minute. Once you turn on that kind of guidance, that's it. So you have to ask yourself that, because what it does, I I want you to equal it to, once you decide to eat clean food, once you decide you're not eating processed junk food anymore, and you really make that decision, you have to change how you shop, how you eat, how you cook, maybe the restaurants you go to, who you're dining with. But once you start, and let's say you're at it enthusiastically for 3 weeks, and then you decide, and you go for junk food, that suddenly tastes like poison to you. And not just because you've gotten used to fresher, great Greek salads. It's because you're violating a promise to yourself. You are actually sabotaging your own inner consciousness. And it's got a bitter taste to it. And then you go back and think, I'm not going to do that again, I don't care how hard it is. This is the same thing when I am asking you to ask yourself, how deeply do you want to know the power of your life? How deeply do you want to know that? How do you ever want to say to yourself again, I'm so afraid there's nothing I can do? I have never said that. Because in my mind, in my inner life, there's always something I can do, even if it's prayer. But I will never say to myself, there's nothing I can do. And I'll be damned if I let you do it. So from now on you say, oh no, there's always something I can do. I can change my thoughts. I can change my attitude. I forbid myself to feel badly. I forbid it. If I am in mourning, which I have been, I allow myself mourning and then I'm up and at it, which doesn't mean I'm not still sad. But I forbid sadness from being a full-time energy. It's not going to happen. I have such a beautiful life. It's not going to happen. So I'm asking you to take charge of your life with the power of your soul, not with the power of stuff, not with the power of other relationships. If someone calls me, then I'm happy. Not with the power of money, but with the power of who you are. Someone asked me about prayer. Oh, wait a minute. And in keeping with that, you start paying attention when you make decisions, choices, or behaviors that cause you to lose your power. You pay attention to that. That if you are losing your power, what are you going to do about it? What do you do to change it? When you realize you've made a decision that's not wise, or you're thinking in a certain way. If you start hemorrhaging your power, pay attention to what's going on in your body. Does your back hurt? Do you get a headache? Do you get enough? Pay attention. And plug yourself up if you're hemorrhaging. Do you have a question about that? Okay, so far so good. You go first.
Yeah, I was trying to ask you.
What?
Can you raise your hand? Yeah. Here. Hi there again. So, hello. My question is it possible for somebody to have more than one angel or to have archangels protecting him?
You know what I think? I think, now, mind you, this is all I know. I know that each of us is actually assigned an angel. Huh?
You just said each of us.
Each of us is
That's
assigned.
one.
All that I know about, archangels have a different task. Archangels are in charge of dimensions of consciousness, like healing, like peace, Raphael.
It is said, or I've read it somewhere, that there might be people who come here with protection that has to do with archangels.
I have no idea. Who knows?
Okay, and another question is, when your archangel your excuse me, actually advises you, suggests that you do something, and you feel it in your gut feeling.
Yeah.
You know if it's right or wrong, right? And you do the wrong thing for a reason. When you do the wrong thing and you keep on making the same mistakes, sometimes he's not a punisher, is he? So
No, heaven doesn't punish.
yeah, so it has to teach us lessons. I'm just asking in order to get the answers. We get a lesson after that, right? And when we have suffered enough, there's a time that you say that, okay, I'm done, I'm taking my lessons. But then it still comes. So probably you haven't learned everything. My question is, when does it stop?
Doesn't.
It doesn't? So we say that we come here to...
Look, I didn't design life.
No, no,
I'm just saying, I didn't design the structure. Also, that kind of idea, when does it end? Eternity doesn't end. Eternity doesn't end, even to go there, it's a silly
maybe
question.
I wasn't really clear. I mean, when does your... If you think that you've taken the lesson, but you've made so many mistakes, and you keep on having...
We're no judge of whether or not we're done with something.
Yeah, but sometimes, somehow, you think you're on the right path for a reason.
That's right, and you may not be.
You may not be, but you're still suffering and getting challenges. And
What the hell is your question?
Is there going to be
No.
a point where you say, I've taken my lesson?
That's different from everybody. For example, someone who finally joins Alcoholics Anonymous has said, I've had enough. And now I'm going to try sobriety. Okay? That's it right there. I don't know when the moment of spiritual or conscious sobriety will occur to anybody. I know it's inevitable that it will. For some people it's giving up alcohol, for others it's giving up being stubborn and how it's destroyed their lives.
And one last question that I think that has to do with everybody. If you feel your bones in the
I know.
stomach, in your stomach, okay, you say to pay attention to what bothers us.
Yeah.
If it is the stomach, that it's not to me, or sometimes it's
Yeah.
your throat, does it mean something? What we have to pay attention.
Yes, you do. Yes, it does mean something.
How can we explain?
Oh, sweetheart. You have to understand that when, for example, if I get a sore throat, it's just, I've been talking 8 hours and I don't make heavy weather out of it. Okay? Because it's obvious. But if I had a throat that was aching all the time, what I do is I examine the choices I've been making and if I'm in harmony or integrity with those choices. And that's what I do. And if I'm not, then I have to reverse a choice. I have to make a different kind that puts me back in harmony. Okay? And same thing. Stomach has everything to do with, yeah, all right, that's your last question. It has to do with rejection, with power, with needing recognition, with losing authority. I can give you the whole spectrum, but you're the one that has to figure out which applies to you. Okay. All right. Go.
Yesterday you mentioned the word demons, and what about them? Can you talk about demons, our demons or demons in general?
Boy, those little fuckers show up everywhere. All right. You know what's really funny? It's not funny, it's interesting. I've taught for years and years and years. People won't go near that subject. And now they're all over the internet. Now there's the Pope Francis. The Pope before him, Benedict, he closed what's called the College of Exorcists in the Vatican. Because a priest has to be trained for this. Okay. See? No. And when Francis became Pope, he gets on the Vatican grounds and he says, I'm not going to stay in the papal apartments because they're possessed. And he didn't, because they were possessed. Okay. When I was a young girl in my 20s, I remember coming home from college and reading this article. Is this a stable table? Can I sit on it?
We'll find out.
Reading, grab these chairs, come on. This article about how satanic rituals happen, and about satanic rituals happening in Chicago. And the reporter interviewing this man who said he just left the satanic cult. She was very, arrogant. Oh, and I suppose you guys get all dressed up, And he said, do you know what evil counts on? Your arrogance. Nothing is as powerful to a demon as your arrogance, as you thinking they don't exist. You may as well open up the floodgates. Now, demons are subject to the same laws that angels are. This God is law, God is light, and God is love. And the absence of love. There is only God. An angel, for example, cannot give you an idea that is counter to who you are. The idea, for example, to write a book, that's all I think about. So my team is free to say now, start writing now. But I have never been told, go steal a boat so you can be a pirate. Okay, so it's just not. Demons are subject to the same thing. So they can't tell you, why don't you go climb Mount Everest? Doesn't occur to you. But what does occur to you, what's in a demon's best interest, is for you to feel bad about yourself. Is for you to feel bad about your life. Is for you to think, geez, nothing's going to change. And you will hear a voice that says, that's right, nothing's going to change. That's exactly right. Nothing ever does change. When someone says, and they'll say to me, I just don't think I'm good enough. Dark force will say, that's right, you'll never be good. That's how a demon works. And when the intention of they kind of snap out of it, as if it was a spell. As if it was a spell, like one kid said, I don't remember doing this. And I was sitting in my house now, thinking about that, God help you. God help you. Because you may have been, and it's so easy for the demon to do that, because nobody looks for demons anymore. Because we're so sophisticated. We'd rather destroy our planet, but there are no demons. There are no demons. Look at the way human beings are with each other. Selfish, predator, killers, rapists, but there is no evil. Are you brain dead? Really, are you brain dead? You have to really get with it and realize this is a universe that has always run on light and darkness, day and night. Always. Always. And it's up to you to start regulating your energy. My purse is right up there. In my purse is holy water and a rosary. I don't go anywhere. I don't go anywhere without. One time, I was house sitting. Do you know what that means? You babysit a house. And I walked in the first day and I thought, oh, I love this place. It was exactly the kind of place I like. It was a Victorian. It was charming. She was a historian. She had gobs of history books, my favorite subject. I thought, oh, I'm going to enjoy this. And it was cozy. And the next thing you know, I'm sick. Not little sick, big sick. I am weak in my body. And I'm feeling like, oh my God, I can't think straight. So I called in and I didn't go to work. And the next day I didn't go to work. The third day, one of my friends at work said, honey, what's wrong? We'll come and get you. Need a doctor? Because I was working in a hospital, right? And I said, and she said, you really try and get in here. So I drag myself, shower, get dressed. I get outside, I get in my car, within 2 blocks, I'm back to myself. And I didn't even think anything of it. I just thought, well, must have been the shower. Because you feel, I get to work, I come back, I walk in, and I go, oh, and bam, I got hit again. And I thought, God, I feel awful. Right. That night, I'm in bed. And my angel said, get up and get out now. Just like that. I shot up, I packed my clothes, I go down the stairs, I get to the front door, and then I realize I'd forgotten my hat. I turn around and I look up the stairs. I don't see a thing. But as I stood on the bottom of the stairs, I heard my angel. I knew that if I went up the stairs, I would be pushed backwards. I knew it, and all of a sudden I felt a hand grab me, man, like this, and said, now, and pulled me outside. I went outside like this. I walk down the stairs, I get in my car, and I feel terrific. Now, demons occupy houses. Demons occupy, they love more power, right? And they love when you take the edge off your consciousness. Drugs, marijuana, pot, all that shit. You take your consciousness and it's like, come on in. Come on in. I'm not gonna. Why do you think every single spiritual teaching, everything all over the world is always be conscious, take care of your consciousness, be conscious. They don't care about your clothes, they don't care about your car, they don't care about anything. The only thing they care about is that you take care of your awareness. Manage yourself. I cannot emphasize that enough. I cannot, don't you dare negotiate your consciousness under any circumstances. You want to drink, fine, don't get drunk. There's a difference. Don't ever put yourself unconscious. I'm not saying that some dark force is going to get you, but let's just say that you're going through a dark night of the soul, the proverbial lost, and you've dropped the ball. You're feeling lost and alone. It's perfect for an angel to say, you are lost. What difference does it take? Take a little more. Take a little more. Take some acid. Take some, do they even have that anymore? I don't know. But take, just whatever. And then the darkness will also aim you at someone and say, that person's terrible. They'll never help you out. Never. It's in the best interest of darkness to poison everything about you. Does that help with the demon stuff? And I'm telling you, you go to bed with prayer. I need to talk about prayer. Okay, I will talk about it. First of all, There's no such thing as how do you pray. You just pray. You just pray. There's no such thing as a God that has a religion. Let me be very clear. So any of you that has allegiance to religion, that's fine, but it's an earth game. When we die, we're not going to see that heaven's full of Catholics. Or heaven's full. This is just all nonsense that we've had to organize the behavior of human beings. Religion is the politics of God. The power of God is an outside religion. It's the power of creation. It's the power of realizing every choice I make creates an outcome. That's the power of God in motion. Therefore, it's in my best interest, and I learned this because of you. Doing readings, I track the thoughts you make. I track the choices you've made. I track why you're hemorrhaging your power out of your cell tissue and always eating negative, frightening, vengeful choices. Always. Which means that when we start choosing love, you patch up your cell tissue. Forgiveness is like forgiveness is a miracle drug. I'm going to tell you that right now. Forgiveness is a miracle drug. And it's not the kind where you forgive me. Okay. It's a leprechaun. But forgiveness is a really genuine miracle drug. Because it doesn't make any sense to your rational mind, and that's what you want to trick. It only makes sense to your mystical soul. And it's like getting rid of rot. But you're also getting rid of stories, and you don't know anything about them. You want to forgive a brother. You don't know he was a brother in this lifetime. You don't know what that soul's journey is. You have no idea, and you don't even know if before you were born you said, would you mind if I steal from you this lifetime? And up there you said, oh yeah, I'm going to be rich as hell, but I have. Alright. But your angel would say, you're not going to remember this. But you agreed to it. So many near-deathers have said to me, there I am being shown things I agreed to. I had no memory of it. And as soon as I saw it, I remembered. So it's the way, and just say, God, you put this person in my life. There's a part of you in this person. I need to forgive them, and until I can forgive them, don't let my negative feelings hurt them. I'm still going to have negative feelings. That's how you pray. I'm still going to have negative feelings. I'm trying to get over it, but in the meantime, please don't let any of my negativity hurt that person. And also, I get up in the morning, I recommend this. When you get up, you say to heaven, what do you want to do today? Assume you have an angel walking next to you. Yeah.
So we can call our angel through our prayers. Huh? And how we can tell that we get an answer?
Well, the first thing I have to tell you is they're not human. So they're not going to answer like the human.
No.
Right. An angel's in the business of helping you discover your power, not theirs. So.
What are a few tips I would like to have? How can I understand their kind of talking?
I have to tell you, follow your conscience. Pay attention connection to yourself. And when you are not honest with yourself. And then follow that. Have you ever lied to yourself?
Yes, many times.
Many times. How's it feel?
Oh, lost. When you feel lost,
Right.
yeah.
That's how your angel talks to you. That feeling right there. That's pure angel speak. And so when you feel lost, your angel's gonna stand there and say, what do you want to do about it? Because the choice of how to get unlost is yours, not theirs.
So when you don't know what you want to
Do anything.
anything.
Do anything, but here's your key. What positive choice can I make in this moment?
And how can
No, I'm not done.
Okay.
Whether that positive choice is as small as just taking a deep breath and thinking, all right, I'll get through this. Just make one positive move. Even if it's, I gotta just shake this off of me. I don't care what it is, but in the second that you feel lost, shift gears to something, anything, that reminds you that you have a lot of power, and that's just a bad wind going through. This is a life practice, honey. This is where you have to beat yourself at your own game sometimes. Angels are not in the business of living our lives for us. They will not pick up after us. They won't do any of that. But what they will do is make us feel terrible for not picking up after ourselves. That's their job. Heaven won't do one thing for us that we can do for ourselves. And this is a biggie, which is why so often you always see in stories and in movies, a person tries 1,000 things before they get the idea. So heaven lets you run out of steam because you have to appreciate their help. You try this, you try that, you try this, you try that.
That's
Okay, but heaven's in the business of getting you to surrender. So I suspect if we talked about all of this stuff, if we talked about everything, we would discover that you have a very controlling nature.
not anymore.
We will discover that you have a very controlling, okay, a feather in the wind. Okay, so at that point, my counsel to you,
I want to blow. Where can I go?
my counsel to you is that you just sit back and say, okay, well, I'm now on a holy adventure.
Yes.
So take over, God.
Yes.
Now, take over, God. What do you want me to do? What did you do?
I'm just waiting.
That's not my question to you. What did you do before you were waiting?
Oh,
Before you
I
were
asked
waiting.
for guidance.
Because what wasn't working in your life?
Nothing.
Your whole life long?
No, not my whole life.
Your whole life?
Not my whole life. I mean, my recent past.
I'm asking you.
My whole life?
No.
No.
When did your life become a lost helium balloon?
When I turned upside down.
I'm chasing my tail here. What the hell did you do? What happened? Did you get divorced? What?
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay. Jesus, Miriam, Joseph, talking to you is like, all right. No wonder your angel can't reach you. Okay, so, honestly, God, no, if I was your spiritual director, and don't bullshit yourself, because you're a bullshit artist.
Yes. But I'm an artist.
Yes. Okay. What you really have to do is ask yourself, you have 3 agendas. You think you're lost, but you want another relationship.
No.
Yes, you do.
No.
You have to figure out what it is you want.
Yes. Exactly. So I have one last question.
Yeah.
How can I tell if there is an angel for my guidance or my higher self?
Because you know what? Heaven rarely gives us what we want. When we get what we want, we're always surprised.
Yes.
And so if we make it up, that's us.
Oh.
Don't fantasize. Heaven never gives us fantasies.
I don't like fantasy.
Yeah. What? Right there. And then there, and then I'm gonna shut us down.
No, before, about the meaning of life, the purpose, you make a question to the lady if it is personal. And I'm not sure that I have, I want you to hear the continue if it is personal or not. It is not personal.
The meaning of life?
The meaning of your personal, of
Purpose.
For the purpose.
Ah, all right.
Okay, the question.
Okay, wait. Here's the difference. The structure of becoming a mother for a female is totally impersonal, agreed?
Yes.
But when it's your turn to be a mother, nothing's more intimate and personal, agreed?
Yes.
So both things are true simultaneously. You are having an experience deeply and intimately of something that's not personal. That's the way everything is about our lives. There's nothing personal about any of our life journeys, but they're very intimate. I'm not the first person to be a teacher. I'm not the first, okay? I'm not the first person. There's nothing about our lives that, this is what's so delicious when you get this. Because you can see that even with people, you separate and think this person, whether it's my child, my nephew, my niece, they would get angry at me. And anyone who suddenly gave them restrictions, told them not to go someplace, has nothing to do with me, but I'm the one delivering. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes, I do.
So it's wonderful to use these two like glasses. One is deeply personal, and the other is totally impersonal.
So at the same time, we have to stay and see the scene, the happen, the attitude that is happening, and live it now and see at the same time out of our body, like paraplegic.
Observer. Yeah.
In the same time,
Yes.
I have two jobs to do.
Yeah.
To be an observer and the leader.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yes, you're an observer, and what you're observing is an archetypal pattern that's working in your life.
Yes, it is.
What is the pattern we're talking about?
In my age, I am always asking about my purpose of life. And I just understand that actually you will figure out it is not personal. Just
Yes, all right.
personal or mystic from your book, The
Okay.
Mystic.
This is what I want you to do.
Okay.
Truly, I'm gonna suggest this. And that's that you wake up and think, I'm the one who sees purpose in everything, or I don't. It's up to me. I'm gonna start practicing the power of purpose. Turn it into a practice. That, whether or not you're grocery shopping, or giving a lecture to a couple of hundred people, it's up to each of us to bring purpose and meaning to every single thing we do. And let's call it the practice of purpose. Because you could be doing something wonderful, saving lives in a hospital, and suddenly saying, I can't stand this. And what could be more purposeful? And I know physicians who walk off the job. So it's not the job. It's the consciousness that we bring to what we do. And God always starts us with acorns, tiny little tasks, because we're so easily disappointed. If we're not happy one day, we're not happy the next. We need something every single day, because we're so spoiled.
Yes.
And we just can't stand to wait. We can't stand to endure. We can't stand anything. I just need to be, I just don't know. It's just not enough. It's not enough. And you finally say, that's enough of that. Today I'm going to start, no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm making bread, making dinner, or watching TV. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to bless it and say, this is what I'm supposed to be doing now. Practice purpose. Otherwise, you're going to expect some Christmas gift to be delivered to you that just makes you feel so happy. Practice God. All right, guys, I am shutting down. It's been a long, long day. And so what I'd like to do is kind of end with a prayer. Healing, is that okay with you? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, absolutely. I want you to think about where you're losing power. And I want you to imagine that somehow or other, an angel's been sent to sit right by you. Oh, for Christ's sake. Right on your lap. Imagine I'm an angel right behind you. Just, Jesus, you are literal. Just an angel by you, okay? By you. Okay. Just close your eyes. This is how you talk to God. Just say, Lord, we haven't chatted for a long time. Don't look at me, I'm not God. Put your eyes off of me. Close your eyes and listen here. Because I want you to go someplace you don't logically go. Just say, I never talk to you. Not really. I actually never talk to you. I think I associate you with rescue missions and not as my companion. I need to ask you to watch over me. It doesn't mean organize my life. I'm going to have challenges. But I think I would prefer if you were with me, no matter what those challenges are. I would prefer if you open my heart so I'm not afraid of love. So I'm not afraid of it. So I don't want to die and have you ask me, could I have loved better? So let me get on with the business of that here. Let me be of service. As long as I'm alive now, let me be of service to anybody, whether it's walking someone across the street, or if you want me to get involved in starting a hospital, you let me know. I'm here. I'm not used to believing in you. So I'm going to start today. I'm going to say, place your hands on me. Place your hands on my heart. Place your hands in my soul. And never, ever let us part until you call me home. Surround me with grace. Help me to believe the unbelievable. Because that's what you are. Amen. Okay, everybody. Yes. I don't know where.
I was just thinking how important it is to get to the point where you ask of God to be with you. Because in our deepest of despair, we don't think we deserve that. So just the act of praying is an act of believing that we deserve to be heard and to ask for something. So it's a huge step to pray. It's not an easy thing. No, it's not an easy thing.
It's not an easy thing, and you know what? People are by nature afraid of prayer. And they're afraid of it because they're actually afraid it could work. And they're afraid of the power of God in their life, even the slightest twinge. Because what that means is you can't live in darkness anymore. And all the decisions you make that are based on maybe cheating, maybe lying, maybe getting even, maybe doing something, maybe negative thinking, you can't do that anymore. And you can't blame other people for why you do what you do. And all of a sudden the rules of life change, but so do the presence of miracles. See, what is a miracle? I mean, I would wonder why people don't heal right away, instantly. Because that kind of power is available. But a miracle, one of the reasons, think about this, that we need to develop this kind of sense of really powerful self-esteem is so that you do not give your power away to anybody because you need approval. Okay? Imagine an angel comes to you and says, why don't you do this? Or, for example, as I've witnessed, somebody gets their eyesight back, like that. And some people said, you were never blind. Other people said, why you and not me? Now, the kind of power you have to have, to hold an experience, when heaven gives you an experience you cannot prove. 3 months ago, Beth knows this, who I'm talking about. A man I've known for 40 years, and very, very closely. I've known his daughter since she was 2, she's 42. He calls me up to tell me she's got cancer. I call her up and she said it's worse than what my dad knows. I've got cancer, spine, breast, lymph nodes, a few of them. And when I hung up the phone, my cousin said, it's terminal. All right, so I called her up and I said, sweetheart, would you pray? I don't like religion. For Christ's sake, if I hear that one more time. And I said, did I say anything to you about religion? Anything? Did I even mention it? And I said, no. Let me just talk to you about the power in having sacred allies. And then one of them is this saint, this Catholic saint called Carlos Acutis. Maybe you've heard of him, maybe you haven't. He was the youngest kid ever canonized. He was just canonized last year, 15 years old. His parents were at his canon, only saint in the world to have their family there. Anyway, all of a sudden, I pay attention to this. On my YouTube feed, I'm getting all of these stories about this 15-year-old who was up for canonization. I never heard of him. And because I'm such a smart ass, I dismissed it, thinking, what's a 15-year-old? Get out of here. But then I started paying attention. And this young 15-year-old kid from the time he was 3, and his mother tells the story of how she would go into his bedroom and say, "Who are you talking to?" He says, "Mary, Jesus." They coached him. And then he got an assignment. His assignment is the most peculiar. It was to gather every story of what Catholics call a Eucharistic miracle. A miracle associated with Eucharist. And I thought, I didn't even know about that. I mean, how could it be something I don't know about like that? But there was. At any rate, Carlos did that. And his presentation, because he happened to be a web genius, went all over the world. You know about him. Something about him just began to impress me in ways I can't even explain it to you. One night I'm out to dinner with my cousins. I asked my cousin Reggie, "Did you ever hear of Carlos Cruz?" I said, "He's someone I'd love to have a holy card." I never asked for that. She said, "Oh, here's one." And Carlos told his mother, "I'm going to go back to heaven now. And Mother Mary and I are going to form a healing team." And I thought, this is just outrageous. And then my little friend got sick. And I said to her, "Are you okay if we pray to this man, to this saint?" Absolutely not. 3 days later, the cancer was gone. All of it. 3 days. She was terminal. Now, I have to say to you that I'm not impressed because I expect nothing less. Because heaven doesn't heal half-ass. You're not going to heal half your broken leg. You're going to get the whole thing. But I said, "Can you help her?" Because I know you can. But will you? I love the way heaven works. And if I could plug you into anything, it's to become fully, wholly unreasonable. Don't look for reasonable solutions. Look for miraculous ones. But remember, heaven plays by very strict rules. You can't ask for favors and not change your own life. You gotta put some skin in the game. You can't only pray when you need stuff. You can't only pray for yourself. Hold the world in your prayers, because we are all spinning out of control. And don't expect your life to entertain you every day. Just sometimes God puts you in a quiet space to recharge. But so long as you're alive, believe me, you have purpose, grace, and direction. And how do you treat others matters. It matters. And my final is humble up. Don't treat yourself like you are so special, that you need any kind of special anything. When Teresa of Avila, she would say to her saints, have no expectations of God, but expect endless miracles. There you go. I can't give you better guidance than that. I do want to thank you all for sharing these 2 days here with us, the other wonderful speakers. Such a pleasure for me, more than you'll ever know. So, I set you on your way with blessings, safe journey to you all.
Thank you. God bless you.
You know what? I do a lot online, as we all do these days. And on May 7th, I'm starting a class called Spiritual Direction, Returning to Home Base. So it's going to be on spiritual guidance. It's going to be, I'm going to start the program every day by giving an overview of a spiritual view of what's happening now. Then a little lecture, then prayers. So it's just like a spiritual home base, because we are looking for this.
Thank
So,
you.
Okay. Mwah.
Σας ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ εκ μέρους του Leading Management της Αναστασίας Πατικίδου και του Μωυσή Σεργιάννη. Θα πεις Αναγία Μωυσή μου. Είμαστε πολύ τυχεροί, αυτό ένιωθα αυτή την ώρα, καθώς ζήσαμε την Carolain Myss από κοντά, όχι σε ένα τεράστιο στάδιο με δεκάδες χιλιάδες ανθρώπους, όχι μόνο διαδικτυακά, αλλά την είχαμε εδώ.